Hello. Hey again. It's Dr. Jatun Dorsey. I am back for day 27 of the productivity challenge that we have been so dedicated to, right? So I wanted to come on before I got caught up into too many different things today, so that I can do what I committed to, right? I always say that my word is my bond, and I have committed to this, so I'm going to stick with it. Day 27, only a few days away from day 30. So while you guys are joining, I am going to go ahead and share this out. So as you do join, make sure that you share this out. You say hello. Let me know that you're there, so that we can get started here shortly. Hopefully you've been catching all of the recording, either the replay or me live, as I have discussed the 26 so far principles that are in alignment with this overall goal that we have for discussing productivity while maintaining peace of mind. So if you are just joining, make sure you say hello while I go ahead and share this out. So hopefully you'll share as well. And we will get started here momentarily. And I have one more place to share it, and hopefully Facebook would have built my audience by then, so I can go ahead and get started. Hey there, Uncle Bob. Thanks for joining. Make sure you share this out to your friends, your fam, and everyone else. And I am sharing this out as well. I have one more spot to share, and then we are going to go ahead and get started. I know folks may be just getting off work. You may be still with family, wrapping up the Christmas celebrations and all. So you may have to catch the replay, which is just as good, right? Just as good as the live. So either way, you are winning. Okay, so we got some folks coming in. I have one more place to share this. If you're just joining, say hello. Let me know you're out there. As I am sharing this out, I want you guys to do the same. Say hello. Let me know you're there. Give me thumbs up, heart, love, so I'll know who is in the house, in my virtual home today, so I can make sure that I greet you. I want to make sure that I acknowledge that you are there and that you've been sticking with me. If it's your first time, it won't be your last. You know, I always say that. But even if it is, it's your 26th time, which means that you've been watching every live up until now, I want to extend my gratitude to you for sticking through this, right? Not only just for me supporting, but also because this is helping you to increase your productivity, right? This is, like I said, not just a challenge for me, but it's a challenge for us to increase our productivity and get ourselves positioned for 2018 before 2018 actually arrives, right? We don't have to wait for January 1st before we start acting towards these goals. So again, if it's your first time joining and you don't know who I am, I've got to introduce myself, right? That will be the only right thing to do as you are entering my virtual home. I am Dr. Jatun Dorsey, Amazon bestselling author, speaker, life and business coach, professor, and corporate chick. Yes, I got a lot going on, which is why I wrote this book, Intentional Living. And this is what I've been talking about throughout these, so far today. It makes the 27th day, talking about increasing your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. And that involves all the many different things that you may be involved in. As I just outlined for myself, I'm sure you are overly involved as well, right? Maybe it's things that you enjoy. Maybe it's things that you just feel obligated to do. Whichever way it goes, you have a lot of things going on in life, right? But you still want to be productive. You still have the audacity to want to do something better and bigger and have passion and goals and dreams and all this stuff, right? So that's how this productivity challenge is going to help you, right? Help you navigate through all of that while also maintaining your peace of mind, because we can go crazy, right? With all the many things that we got going on. So that's what this challenge challenge is all about, not only for me to challenge myself to go live, right? Consistently, which I've been doing, thanks to, congrats to me. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. That was kind of the shoulder, but y'all know that what I meant. But also to encourage you, right? Encourage you to move and to get into consistent action, not just to make one step, and to move past that fear that's holding us back and the regret that's keeping us stuck in the past. It's time for us to move forward. And so that's why I wanted to do this. And especially this month, as we are closing out 2017 and welcoming in 2018, right? So that we can walk into 2018 saying, this is what I got for you. 2018, not, oh gosh, what does 2018 have to bring to me this year, right? We are not asking those type of questions. We're saying we're coming prepared. We're coming with a plan. We're coming with ambition. We are ready to greet 2018 like none other year before, right? Hey, Dorothy, thanks for joining. So with that being said, guys, if you are just joining for the first time, I like to give those newcomers, a little taste of what they missed so that they'll know they need to go back. It's important. It's pertinent that you go back and catch all the replays so that you can catch up and be on the same page with us as we progress through these last few days towards this 30-day challenge, right? But as I've already talked about, overall and in general, we're talking about productivity, but also maintaining peace of mind, keeping yourself sane while you're being productive and not just busy doing stuff that's strenuous, stressful, and overwhelming. So what we started with was discussing shifting your mindset. So we had to get your mind right? We had to get your negative thoughts removed. We had to learn some principles and tips and tools that we can use to easily reframe those negative thoughts that we are so often and prone to accumulate, I'll say, in our mental space, right? Especially if that's the type of thought that we're accustomed to, right? It's hard to reframe that, but we were discussing ways that we can overcome that, because sometimes we talk ourselves out of being great because we say these negative things to ourselves and we begin to believe it, or outsiders may say things and we begin to believe it. But when you stand firm in what you believe is the greatness that you have within you, then you are convinced, right? Nothing can break down that barrier. And we continue with that mindset, right? So after we shift that mindset, then we went into don't fail to plan. So we talked about documentation beats conversation. So we talked about many tools and principles that you can apply to actually document your plan. But first you got to know what your plan is, right? You got to know where you want to go before you can document that plan that gives you those milestones, right? That gives you those trigger points, that gives you those dates and those timelines and deadlines and all that good stuff that you need in order to say on account to your blueprint. Goodness, it was stuck right there. But this is your blueprint. That plan is your blueprint in order to achieve your goal. So when you start, you're starting with the end in mind. You already know where you want to go, so that way you can back into that. Then we talked about every minute counts, right? Making every minute count. And that talks about all the minutes that we have, right, in a day. And in essence, you have 24 hours in a day, right? And that's 1,440 minutes in a day. And that's how many opportunities you have to make an impact in the world, to be successful, to strive towards your goals. And all too often we neglect the time, right? And if you're not measuring your time, you're probably wasting time. So we talked about ways to do that as well. And then we went into the fourth section, which there are 5 total sections in the book. The fourth section was making it happen. So we really went into how to make some action, how to take the first step, right? How to encourage ourselves to move past that fear that I mentioned earlier and get into that first step, right? Because sometimes that's where we get stuck. We just can't seem to make that first step. But after you make that first step, you're like, oh, it's not so bad after all. I can make that second one and the third and the fourth, right? So we got into action in that section, and now we're in the 5th section. So we are closing this thing out with the final sections, as I mentioned. And the 5th section is refill your tank. Refill your tank. Some of us are trying to pour from an empty tank. In other words, you're trying to give to others what you don't even have for yourself. So we talked about when you grow tired, rest, but don't quit, right? You got to get your rest in so that you can not give from the stress of you, but give from the best of you. And then we talked about yesterday, family first, no exceptions. And we had my husband, Mr. Dorsey, on to commentate on this as well. So we had a great discussion yesterday. If you missed it, make sure you catch that replay as well, because you don't want to miss that. So today we're talking about dedication to meditation. Dedication to meditation. All too often we confuse, this is where I want to start with this, we confuse meditation with prayer. And those are 2 different things. And what an awesome way to differentiate between the two is to think of prayer as a way for you to have a conversation with God, to ask of God, to thank God, right? But then that meditation is that time that you sit and listen and wait for the answers to your prayers, right? So oftentimes we don't take the time to just sit, right? To sit and really truly connect with ourselves, connect with God, connect with a higher being of ourselves, right? And that's what I'm talking about when I say a dedication to meditation. So oftentimes people that have meditation as a ritual of their own, they have a regularity, right? A ritual that they meditate every morning or they meditate every night. They have a particular time of the day which they dedicate to this, right? Or they may say, I only have time once a week, whatever it is for you, but make sure that you make time to set aside a moment for you to sit in quiet, right? And another way that I like to think of meditation is it's a way to be inspired, right? And the late great Dr. Wayne Dyer explained inspiration in the best way that I have heard it, right? And he says that inspiration means to be in spirit, which means that you're connecting with a higher being, a higher power, right? In order for us to do that, sometimes we got to just sit still. And life is just so fast. We always have music. We have electronics. We have to be on the go. You know, it's always something that's in our eyesight. There's always something in our ears, and there's always something coming out the mouth, right? So at some point, we have to create the habit of setting aside time to just sit in quiet, right? And listen for the answers to those prayers that you've been asking for. All too often we pray and we ask and we thank God and we asking for this, we're asking for increased territory, but we're not listening for the answers, right? How can we get that increased territory? Because we also talk about faith, having faith, right? But faith without works is dead. So in order for you to know what the works are that you need to do in order to achieve those things that you prayed for, sometimes you just got to sit and be quiet. Sit in the corner, be quiet, right? And that meditation can be approached in many different ways. Some just sit, as I mentioned, in quiet, and they may have a bracelet that is a meditation bracelet with the beads, right? And you can kind of rotate those in your hands as you just go through your thoughts and listen to your thoughts, right? Or you can have, there's an app actually that I use oftentimes. Hey, Shalonda, thanks for joining. There's an app that I've used in the past and still do sometimes. And I'm sure there are many, many other apps out there. But it has meditation music, right? So that you can just sit and then your mind can just go off into the space of receiving those answers and that feedback, right? From God. And that's what we don't take the time to do, is to listen. And another place to do this, you know, if you go to a spa, if you go to the sauna, if you don't have too many other distractions, right? And then you have that type of music there. You have that type of environment that's relaxing, right? That settles you, that gets you into a place of where you can listen. And it's just stopping all the noise, right? That's what meditation is about. Stopping all the noise and truly grounding yourself and really connecting with what those responses are to those questions that you've been asking, right? And to those many things that you may have been thinking, but you haven't been able to really get clear about it, right? And we've been talking about goals and aspirations and not waiting until 2018 to set these resolutions, right? Sometimes we just got to be quiet and sit and wonder and think and allow our thoughts to come to a conclusion, because we have so many thoughts every second. And if we just allow that to continue to go, then we'll find ourselves lost and confused and frustrated and maybe even unclear. But this is your opportunity during meditation to really get clear about those thoughts, right? Even if you want to create a mantra for yourself, write out a couple of sentences that you want to recite during your meditation. And these are things that you will continuously repeat during that session that you have set aside for your meditation. So I just gave you 3 different ways to approach it. Now I can tell you this. When I initially started meditation, I tried meditating lying down and I had some soothing music going, right? And y'all know what happened. Your girl fell asleep. So I'm just saying that to say you have got to try these many different, not just those 3 that I've mentioned, but any other approach to meditation that works best for you, right? So in that instance, I learned from myself that I had to not lie down, right? Because I will go to sleep real quick on that meditation. So I had to change my approach, right? Hey, Axis, thanks for joining. I'm glad. See that urge. So we had that connection. You got that connection. You had that urge and I just happened to be on. That's what I love. That's what I love to hear. So yes, guys, make sure that you try different things, right? So don't take an approach to meditation and then feel like it failed because you fell asleep like I did in the first try, or that, you don't feel like you were centered or that you were focused on the meditation. Don't give up in the first try, right? Continue to try different ways and different approaches for this so that you can truly connect yourself to those thoughts that we're talking about. So guys, if you're just joining, make sure you say hello, give me heart, love, thumbs up. Let me know that you're out there. If you're new, this will not be your last time. I'm just saying. And if you are new again, make sure you go back and catch all the replays. And if you are watching any replays, type replay in the comments. So I'll know that you are catching the replay so I can make sure I go back and greet you and thank you for joining, the sessions, because these have been awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, we're on day 27 of the 30-day challenge. You do the math and figure out how many more days we got to go, right? So that's how many days you got to catch me live for this particular purpose, this particular project. And then again, the challenge is not just for me, it's for us because we are growing together, right? We can only grow bigger and better as a collective, right? We talked about that yesterday. Hey, Rachel. Oh, you are such a sweetie. Thank you. I remember reading. I don't know why my comments, when they come over, they cut off some of what you guys are saying. So if I don't get to say or read everything that you say, I can see part of it. So we're going to work on that. And maybe the next session, I'll be able to see exactly what you're saying. Hey, my uncle joined. Hey, Uncle Ray. We call him Bubba though. So yes, Tidra, I was almost done, but you caught it, right? You caught it right on the end. So you know what the topic is today. And Access, your comment cut off again. You said replays and my book is finally, and I'm guessing you saying here. So hopefully you received your copy of your book. So guys, if you have not ordered your copy, remember you have an opportunity to order your copy of Intentional Living, 30 Productivity Principles to Increase Your Peace of Mind while you're being productive, right? So I suggested and recommended that you guys buy these for stocking stuffers. And if you didn't get around to it, it's okay. We can still get you some orders in. So just let me know, as you know, in the replays. And even today, once we close out this video, I'll be sharing the link so that you can immediately order your copy. Now, remember, if you go to Amazon, though, it's not coming directly from me. It's coming from my inventory that's with Amazon, which means it won't be autographed or anything like that, right? So if you use the link that I provide, you will get it autographed straight from me. Okay, so make sure that you do that. And it's never too late to order your copy. And it's important that you have your copy so that you can follow along as we go through this, right? Because it has questions at the end so that you can easily apply and quickly apply these principles that we're talking about each day. So I'm going to look over here to the side because on my other screen, I can see the full comments. I want to see what y'all talking about. I hear some popping and some beeps and things. Let me know that y'all talking to me. Okay. Axel said her book is finally en route via Mr. Postman. Yes, Mr. Postman is on his way to drop that good package off to you. Okay, Tidra. Access is saying that she couldn't find the group. Can you share the link to the group for Access so she can join our group? Guys, if you haven't joined the group, that's another thing. Thanks for mentioning that, Access. You can join our group, Fearless and Massively Empowered, where we encourage, right, and keep us accountable, right? We hold each other accountable for all the goals and aspirations that you have set out. But of course, you've got to communicate what your goals are in the group, right? It's a safe space, right? A sacred space where we are generally sharing our goals, sharing our aspirations, and even seeking advice, right? From that perspective. And Tidra is one of the moderators in the group. So if you guys want to join, she's going to share the link so that you can join us there, right? You can always jump in, see what it's like, peep in and see what we're talking about there. Lots going on. Okay, and I see you guys are connecting as well. So good. So as we were talking about meditation, dedication to meditation was the topic for today. So I hope that you all will somehow, some way, and I was going to say at some point, but I want to say starting today, incorporate meditation into your life, into your daily life, right? And if it's something that you feel like you may not be able to immediately jump in, setting aside time every day, then think about once a week, right? Somehow, don't count it all out together. So let's try at some point this week to incorporate meditation, and it could be 5 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be a whole 30-minute hour session. Start somewhere, right? So that you can really connect with those thoughts. And again, if you missed the beginning, the difference between prayer and meditation, right, is the fact that in prayer, you're having a conversation with God, right? You're thanking him. You're asking for increase in your territory. You're making requests, right? But this meditation is your opportunity to sit with yourself and be still and be quiet so that you can hear the answers to those prayers. And all too often we don't do that. We just continue to move about life, right? And we don't take the time to be patient and hear the message that is being delivered to us so that we'll know exactly which direction to go. But we shoot up all these many prayers all day, every day, and then we just keep going. And you don't realize that you're still doing the things that have gotten you to where you currently are, right? So the important thing is that we need to really listen so we'll know what it is that we need to change, what it is that we need to redirect and reframe in order to actually achieve those goals and make sure that we're in alignment with those goals in our everyday living. So, any final comments? I got to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So thank you all again for consistently joining, for sharing this out, this video, the past videos, and even the future, right? I want to thank you and extend my gratitude to you for joining, taking time out of your busy schedules to just tune in and get a little meat from me, right? A little meat. Sometimes you just need a little appetizer, and sometimes you might need a full meal. So I hope that you have gotten whatever it is that you need. Thank you for sharing, Axis. I hope that you've gotten what you need. Make sure you click notifications as well so that you'll be notified whenever I do go live, and so that you don't miss out on the meals that I'm preparing and delivering to you on these daily lives, right? You got to get it. You got to get it while it's hot. So before I close out, as I always do, got to share a few things. We did drop because I told you yesterday we drop them because they just so hot, right? That Date with the Dorseys podcast this morning, it went out this morning. So I hope that you guys have caught that. If you didn't, make sure you go to my page at DRJATUN on Facebook, and the same handle on Instagram and Twitter as well if you want to follow me there. But make sure that you go there so that you can catch the link and catch the latest and greatest episode of Date with the Dorseys, where we are sharing topics on the 5 F's. So if you don't know what the 5 F's are, I like how this little curl is just doing that Michael Jackson thing. Y'all see that? But yes, make sure that you catch that, and go back and catch the replays on that too, because we have some awesome topics there as well, right? So the 5 F's, and then we're talking about how you can best build a fortunate state of mind. And if you don't know what the 5 F's are, as I mentioned, make sure you tune in so you can learn what they are, right? I can't tell you everything here. You only got so much that you can take and that you'll retain from a session, right? We talked about that in a previous live. So I won't give you too much. So you have to go there whenever you get a chance and get time. If you're binge watching these lives and then you want to catch up on your podcast, do that, right? We got some time off. Weekend is coming up, and some of you still are off for the holidays. So this is a great opportunity to do that. And then, though we've been talking about intentional living book that I released earlier this year. Yes, Axis, that Michael Jackson curl. Every time I turn my head, I see it moving. That's in memory of MJ. But, so intentional living, the productivity book, right, that I released earlier this year, shares 30 productivity principles, which have been highlighted throughout this 30-day challenge. However, intentional living is going to be another book release that I'm a visionary of, and it is the anthology, which means that we have some co-authors on the book that are sharing some lived experiences, right, that are going to complement these principles that I've been sharing, right? So you get to hear some actual lived experiences beyond the stories that I've been sharing about, my lived experiences. Now you get to hear from some others and how they intentionally overcame challenges and barriers and all those many things that kind of hold us back and make us feel defeated in life, right? But how did they overcome that intentionally? And or how did they intentionally learn how to cope with those things, right? So make sure that you stay on the lookout for that as well. And, Shalonda, you've been catching the replays. I'm so glad. She says she definitely enjoys the replay. So I'm so glad that you have been tuning in. Make sure you share it out to your folks, girl. Make sure your peoples know that they can get some food. And I mean some food that's going to help them increase their productivity, achieve their goals, right? And get on the right track, because we have been so stagnant, right? So many of us have become stagnant, and then we find ourselves feeling regret from all the many things that we haven't done or that we haven't taken advantage of. So it's important for us to not only take this in for ourselves, but to share. Sharing is caring. So continue to follow so that you'll get the latest and greatest on the Intentional Living Anthology that's going to be released early 2018. It's going to be hot like fire as well. I'm just saying. Tidra's on here. She's also a co-author. Mr. Dorsey, you saw him yesterday. He's a co-author, and some of the other co-authors have joined some of the lives here and there. And I definitely will be continuing to give them shout outs as I notice that they join. So after that, of course, we got the survey, which we only have a couple days, however many days we have left for the challenge is how many days we have remaining for the survey as well, right? So I've been sharing the link to the survey. So I hope that you guys complete the survey, because that's yet an opportunity to win. I don't know about you, but I love to win. I love to win. And sometimes it may not even be anything I need, but it just feels good to win, right? So make sure that you have taken the time out of your schedule, right? I know that we all, like I said in the beginning, have many things going on. But if you just take a couple minutes out of your busy schedule to complete that survey, that will let me know how to best serve you in 2018. Now, I've got my plan, because I've been talking about planning, and not planning is meaning that you just want to fail, right? But that's not me. So I got my plan, but I just want to make sure that it's something that's going to benefit you, right? So I want to see what your challenges are in life, right? What are the things that you see that you need help with, right? To have somebody walk with you through the process or guide you through the process so that you can be, just that more productive in your life, right? And some things we just don't know, right? And it's okay to ask questions. So in that survey, that's where you'll give me all of that information. You'll dish out all the goods, right? So that I'll know how 2018 needs to go as far as me serving you in the best manner possible. I don't want to just be on here jibber jabbing. I know y'all enjoy some of my goofiness. I do too. I love that about myself. So we're going to definitely have fun. It's all about edutainment, right? Education and entertainment all intertwined. That's what we do here. We like to have a good time, but we're still growing and growing together. So with that, remember the drawing will be done at the end of this year, but I will be announcing the winner early next month, right? So that'll give me time to kind of go through all the responses and all that stuff and do the random drawing and then announce that in the new year. So I'm so excited about that. So, Axis, you did the survey. Great. I saw a lot of people that have responded to the survey. Many folks have already purchased their books as well. So, again, extending great and big, and however many different ways you can describe the word big and enormous and all that stuff, right? I want to say thank you to all of you for your continued support and your continuation of standing up for yourself, right? Saying yes to yourself. Sometimes we struggle to do that. So I hope that I have, at the minimum, encouraged you to start doing that. Saying yes to yourself, saying, yes, I am good, I'm great. Because we all come from God, and God is great. So how can we be anything less than great, right? Sometimes we just got to be reminded of it. So here I am to remind you how great you are. With that, guys, I am going to close it out. Remember, create a dedication to meditation. I want to hear from you, right? If you email me or catch me on my business page at drjatun. I was about to put it all together. I do that all the time because my mouth just goes. If you want to catch me on Facebook at drjatun, right? Message me, right? Or email me, Jatun at drjatun.com. Whichever way, connect with me. Let me know how these principles have benefited you, right? Let me know how you're implementing your plan, how you're documenting your plan, how you're shifting your mindset, how you are increasing or incorporating meditation into your day-to-day living, right? Any of these principles, give me your feedback. Let me know how they're helping you, because that helps me help you more, right? So with that, guys, I am going to, my husband yesterday said I'm the closeout queen. So I probably already said bye like 3 times, but we just ain't quite said bye just yet. But you know what it is that marks my official closeout, and that's what I'm going to say now. There's never a perfect moment, but what you have to do is make the current moment that you have perfect. So I'm wishing you all an awesome rest of your evening, and I look forward to yet another principle share with you tomorrow. So until then, Blessings and miracles to you. Bye.